So hi, I'm Alex, and we are Team Greenheart, and I'd like to take you on a journey on a quest to create a social movement. So, Robert Butler once said, if exercise could be distilled into a pill, it would be the single most prescribed and beneficial medicine in the nation. And we know exercise has value. We're bombarded with messages 5 times a week, moderate to vigorous physical activity. But let's be honest, who here is guilty of not doing this? Me. And precisely, it's no different in India. India is a rapidly growing population, a rapidly urbanising country with rapid growth in living standards. But with this comes a transition from infectious diseases to non-communicable diseases, accounting for more than 60% of India's deaths in 2018. And more than 50% of India's population is physically inactive, with sedentary lifestyles implicated in cardiovascular disease, hypertension, diabetes, and cancer. So to design a solution, we first had to define the problem and empathise with our users. Like us, the Indian population has may have little motivation to exercise after working all day, no opportunities in time, space, or money, or lack awareness of the benefits. And I agree, it's hard to see the tangible link to improve health, but our solution sought to align our users' interests. So relaxation, social interaction, and community with their health interests and motivations by creating a social movement, literally. So Let's Dance is an app where you can learn to dance, get feedback on what you're doing, and compete against your friends. Given the space and time limitations to access public spaces, all you would need is the comfort of your own home in a 2x2 area. Set up your smartphone camera facing you, follow the prompts, record yourself dancing, and get immediate feedback on your scores. I would get 0, but that's okay. And we can see this technology has been independently and technically validated. Chan et al. 2018 demonstrated that movements could be tracked via a simple camera and application of motion transfer and point machine learning algorithms. We can score your moves and provide tips on how to improve. And we believe this is a novel idea. Our competitors in the dance app space are clunky and allow cheating. My dad plays Just Dance by just sitting down and waving the controller like that. And alternatives are simplistic or unaffordable. So we are a low-cost tech solution to physical inactivity, and we believe there is a lucrative market. Our natural target market are Indian urban smartphone users, people from 15 to 54 years of age, and from extensive background research of YouTube and movies, the Indian culture is full of dancing. After app development, we believe we can quickly make a profit given our low operating costs and only fixed costs of app development, and we use very conservative assumptions. So Let's Dance will teach you some dance moves, reduce your risk factors and healthcare costs, and maybe win you some bragging rights. Join us and let us create a social movement together.
Very creative, using Bollywood dancing. Oh, the rest of the team? Are you going to dance your way up here? Just a couple of moves, guys. So just at the end, we're a bit rushed on the business model, but great presentation, good creativity. Wireframes need a lot of work, but you know, it's just the weekend. Talk to me. Oh, was that from a dancing accident? So on the business model, so how much you're charging them? 50 rupees a month. What percentage of their of the wallet is that for them? Is that affordable?
Yeah, so we did a little bit of analysis to their weekly incomes. I can't remember the exact stat, but I think for some households it was something like 20,000 rupees a month for some households, and that's in the lower income brackets. And I think for more affluent, more wealthy households, this increases quite significantly. And in terms of our overall assumptions, like got a bit of a some of our assumptions here, not as aesthetically pleasing, but we assume that in our total target market, we have urban users with smartphones in our target demographic, and we kind of applied some percentages of people who actually download, people who would be regularly using the app, and people who would actually be paying for no ads, because I know I wouldn't. And then we estimated on an AED basis of $1 per month, which is equivalent to 50 rupees, and we could say that we got to our overall revenue forecast in that way. Yeah.
Thank you. That's interesting. So what is it that's going to make someone go for your app as opposed to any other app? So any values?
So the biggest thing about our app is the marketability. So why would someone want our app? So we're hoping that with the new technology and the way we incorporate this into a user interface, it will make something that people would like to use, it's fun to play, and also it has a social element. So as you can see with viral stuff like TikTok that's going on, we hope that this would be like the next big thing that spreads across South Asia, especially across India. Yeah.
My question is probably a follow-on from that. How will you do that? Because how do you make something viral? How do you make it take off in such a large country?
I think
like dance is a pretty popular culture in a country like India. You know, like people from various backgrounds, socioeconomic backgrounds, follow a dance competition, like dancing with dance. Like people from slums, rural backgrounds come and compete with each other. So what we thought is why not create a competition among each other via these apps, while they're competing against each other indirectly, they're performing a physical activity. So that's in a way you can upload videos and later on might go viral, create a publicity among across the world, market themselves in. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.